Hi, my name is Venkat, and I'm actually looking forward in this video to go ahead and talk about what are the 3 steps to make every CXO conversation distinct, differentiated, and memorable. So when it comes to CXO conversations, most people, because they are meeting senior people, they're under pressure, they tend to go ahead and focus more about themselves, how great we are, the kinds of references we have, the quality of what we can produce. But please remember, it is not about you and your successes. It is about your customer and the outcomes that they can get. So what you should remember, it is not about you and your smartness. It is about your customer and their greatness. So when you think about CXO conversations, the first step that you need to remember is what I call EQ. EQ is the emotional quotient that you bring into the conversation, because irrespective of the person, it's a human being, and we need to start thinking about how do you build a strong connection with this person, which means building a container of safety, showcasing empathy, making sure they feel understood in your presence, that they don't feel judged, so that when they are in your presence, they almost stay elevated in your presence. That's what is important. And for you to achieve that, if you're meeting a CXO, you have to start thinking about starting with the right intent, which means filling your heart with the need to make the customer successful. And because when you fill your heart with the right intent, it will show through your eyes, it will reflect in your tone, it will impact the quality of the words so that your customer feels comfortable, confident, and non-judgmental in your presence. The second element that you need to think about in a CXO conversation is all about IQ, meaning the value that you're able to bring into a conversation. Remember, every customer conversation is a mutual reciprocity of value. You add value to them, they add value to you. The value that you bring to CXOs is primarily looking at specific insights. Sometimes you can call those commercial insights, which means insights that has a commercial return for them. Of course, it will have a commercial return to you. And these are insights that helps them to think differently about their problems and opportunities, helps them to reframe their thinking as well. So when you think about IQ, think about measurable and monetizable business results. Think about connecting the dots from your capabilities towards their outcomes. And also think about how effortless it is for them to understand what you're able to provide to them. Next, the last component of a CXO conversation is what I call SQ. SQ is all about the story quotient. You should remember that the human brain works on images. The largest part of the human brain is the limbic brain, which is the seat of emotions, which means that when you use stories to engage with customers, these are the stories that imprint on them. These are the stories that they will remember. So if you are looking at having good customer CXO conversations, think about visualization and storytelling as 2 important components in your toolkit. Your ability to visualize the future and to story-tell the journey is an amazing way in which you can become distinct, differentiated, and memorable for your customer CXOs. Let me go ahead and talk to you about one of these CXO conversations that I had recently. This was the managing director of one of the largest software companies. Right? This was a conversation set aside for about 30 minutes. And I could sense initially that this managing director was switching between meetings. So the first thing that you needed to do is to slow it down, create the space, make sure that they feel comfortable that you are in this conversation, right? So when you showcase some empathy, saying it looks like you've had, this is possibly the 8th meeting for you, and actually thanking them for the time, that actually releases the tension, helps them create the space, and now they're receptive. This is where you need to make sure in CXO conversations, you need to meet them where they are before you take them to where you want them to go, which means you need to resonate with their aspirations first before you differentiate with your capabilities and substantiate with specific outcomes. And that's exactly what happened in the space of about 20, 30 minutes. At the end of the discussion, the CEO said, you know what? I wish every salesperson in my team had CXO conversations like this. We would double or triple our business. It's an amazing acknowledgement, but it really also talks about the power and potential of EQ, IQ, and SQ in CXO conversations. If some of this content that we talked about on having powerful CXO conversation resonates with you, please feel free to go ahead and follow me on LinkedIn or connect with me, or even better, set up some time with me so that we could talk about how you and your team could step up the quality of their CXO conversations so that the accumulation of business acumen, financial acumen, as well as executive conversations helps them to stand distinct, differentiated, and memorable in the eyes of their customers. See you soon.